The third generation Nissan LEAF has just been introduced with new crossover styling, and we are here to get an exclusive first look at the new vehicle. Despite the new crossover design, this new LEAF is actually smaller than the current car. Officially, it's a little shorter in overall length, down to 173.4 inches compared to 176.4 of the current model. The roofline is also a little bit lower, which varies depending on trim. The one area of the car is larger though is width, as the new vehicle is about an inch wider than the current one. Surprising though, due to the crossover-like shape, there's actually less ground clearance on the new LEAF than the old one, only 5.3 inches in this new generation. The raked liftback styling is kind of like an SUV coupe in shape, sort of with some Aria and some Nissan Z styling cues, especially the taillights really remind me of the Z. Up front, the headlights have the new sort of Nissan design on their EV vehicles. The wheels are pretty cool. They are somewhat reminiscent of the old LEAF's wheel, but with a fresh design. There's a thin little spoiler on the back that helps with overall aerodynamic performance, and the drag coefficient of this new vehicle is down to 0.26, which is an improvement on the already good 0.29 of the outgoing model. Part of the increase in drag coefficient is the lack of exposed door handles. In the rear, they're sort of tucked into the roofline, and up front, they are the motorized push-out handles, however you want to describe them, that pop out when you approach the car. This here is the LEAF Platinum, so it has the 19-inch wheels, which I talked about, and there's a ton of color choices, such as Seabreeze Blue Pearl, which you're seeing here, with a black roof. Like the current car, the new LEAF will be offered with 2 motor options and 2 battery sizes. The smaller motor sees a significant increase in power, now rated at 174 horsepower and 254 pound-feet of torque. That's an increase of 60 horsepower and 18 pound-feet respectively. The larger motor continues to generate 214 horsepower, but torque increases 11 pound-feet to 261 in total. Similarly, the battery choices have increased as well. The 26 LEAF can be had with a 52 kilowatt-hour battery pack that's coming a bit later, or on initial launch, there will be a 75 kilowatt-hour unit. Official range of the new car will be anywhere from just over 250 miles to just over 300 miles, depending on trim. It can now charge at speeds up to 150 kilowatts, which is pretty cool, and it has an onboard 7.2 kilowatt charger. Now, if you may notice, there are charging ports on either side of the vehicle. On the driver's side is the more traditional charging port that pretty much every vehicle outside of Tesla has had, and you may notice that it is only a stage 2 charger at max on that port, while the passenger side has the North American charging standard port, which allows buyers to use all of the Tesla superchargers, and this can charge at speeds, like I said, up to 150 kilowatts, so stage 3, and included free for customers is an adapter that can be used on that port to use the old school chargers, because you can't use the old school charger in the old school charging port on the driver's side if you want a stage 3. Get it? Confused? Perfect. The LEAF has been extensively tested for winter. Even though it is only front-wheel drive, it's still quite a good vehicle in the winter, and to ensure the battery performs just as well, it's sealed by a resin cover that should help keep cold air, snow, and slush away from it during winter. The car can also capture wasted heat from the motor and charger, which should allow the battery to remain at optimal operating temperature during those winter months. Inside, you should also stay warm, as there is a standard heat pump with an available battery heater as well. Despite its aerodynamic shape, there's actually a lot of space in the rear seat, even for people 6 feet tall like myself. There's nice support on the cushion, good legroom, and got lots of headroom. This panoramic glass roof is really cool because not only does it have the sort of smart technology where it can turn itself clear or covered, there's different levels, and if you put it just halfway, you can actually see the word LEAF written in here, which is really cool. And another nice touch is the top of the doors actually have material and they're not hard plastic. This part, it's hard plastic, but where your arm's normally going to be, it's nice and padded. Same with the center armrest. You can put 4 adults in here, no problem. Another nice touch, there's actually rear vents in the center console. There's heated seats back here and USB-C charge points. And if you get the fully loaded model like we have, there's even a 120 volt outlet. That extra legroom comes from the new front seats that do allow a little more space for those in the back, and it seems to have worked as I said, I fit in no problem. And front seat passengers, well, they also get more space thanks to a thinner console. All seats in the new Leaf are zero gravity seats, which Nissan introduced quite a while ago. I really like how soft and squishy this is, but it still has good support. The driver gets a power seat in this trim level, the passenger gets a manually operated seat, but there's still great space for both. And with the panoramic roof, there's still good headroom. I have the full sort of single screen with 2 displays built within it, fully digital. They're the usual sort of Nissan setup with the control wheel and the buttons, and then the switch here that lets me control either the driver information center, or I can push the switch and control the infotainment screen. Hard buttons here for all the necessary equipment like a heated steering wheel, the lane keep assist, which is great having a button, the power trunk, auto hold. Over here we have push button for park, reverse, neutral, drive, all that, and the drive mode, and also e-step. And there is a single volume knob and tune buttons. I wish there's a tune dial, but this is okay, and a dedicated camera button, which is also great. Speaking of which, there are so many camera modes in this new Leaf if you get the Platinum model. The aerodynamic shape may not make it seem like there's a lot of cargo space, and with the floor in its normal position, it is a little tight, but the front section does lift up, revealing a deeper trunk area or cargo area, which makes us pretty usable for family daily use. So yeah, officially that is 20 cubic feet, which is down 3.6 compared to the current car. So there is less back there because it's not as much of a square shape, but the trade-off in cargo is made up for in better range and efficiency. Other options in this specific Leaf include 64 color ambient lighting, that electro dimming panoramic roof I talked about, a 10 speaker Bose audio system, which sounds great, this wireless phone charger in the center console, as well as Google built in. That includes, the usual Google Maps, Google Assistant, and the Play Store. Being the fully loaded model, I have the dual 14.3 inch screens, which give you all the various information needed and are fully customizable, both for the driver information center and for the infotainment system itself. All Leaf trims will come with Nissan Safety Shield 360 and ProPilot Assist as standard, and there's a 3D intelligent around view monitor, which this vehicle has. That has things like invisible hood and 180-degree forward visibility and virtual 360 view. All the nice things that help when getting in and out of tight areas like parking garages or shopping malls. The new Nissan Leaf will be on sale later this fall, and more details such as pricing will be available closer to that on sale date.